Hello everyone, today we are making a Snickerdoodle Blondie, which is just like a brownie, but it is white chocolate instead, and I just decided to add my own little twist to it. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to go ahead and double boil our chocolate, which just means we're going to put water into a pot, and we're going to use the steam to cook what's in the pot above it. So you just place a bowl that fits pretty well on top of it. It doesn't have to come together. These are completely different sets. And then we're going to add some butter in that. I am just going to chop it up though, just to make it a little bit easier because this is like super cold butter. So if you have room temp, of course that is even better, but I didn't have any. So go ahead and place that in the bowl and let that melt down. Make sure you're watching that butter because the pot does steam very, very quickly. And while that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and work on our dry mixture. So in a bowl, we have our flour, we have our baking soda, some cinnamon. I also decided to add a little bit of cream of tartar because I see it in like literally every Snickerdoodle recipe, so I figure why not. It may add something to it, it may not, who knows. So give that a good mix and the butter should start to melt down, and we're going to add in our chocolate. I wanted to use a really good quality chocolate for this, especially since it's white chocolate, and you know white chocolate sometimes can just have a little yucky taste to it in my preference. It's not going to melt down the same way that regular chocolate melts, so it's going to look a little questionable, but just trust the process. And go ahead and pour that in a bowl. And again, it's looking a little questionable, like you did something wrong, but I promise it will come together. So I'm going to set that aside for a little bit and let that cool down so it's not extremely hot. I'm going to add in my vanilla flavoring, my Snickerdoodle flavoring, my brown sugar. You can also replace this with regular sugar if you like. I actually didn't mean to do half and half, but I completely forgot. Now I will say, looking back, the way I did this was completely opposite. I should have mixed the egg and the brown sugar and vanilla first and then mix it into the mixture, but it being not a regular chocolate and white chocolate really kind of threw me off, so it made the egg mixture a little bit hard. So just mix those in. Then I'm going to do one yolk instead of the entire egg and mix that in as well. And again, because of the way I did it, it's a little bit harder to mix. So if you could remember to do that the first way with the brown sugar first, then that would be a huge help. I'm going to go ahead and add in my flour mixture, and I do half and half because it's a lot of flour. It's a very wet batter, so it makes it really hard to mix in. So I'm going to do half of the flour mixture and give that a good mix. And once it is like well combined, we're going to go ahead and add in the other half of the flour and mix that as well. Be very patient, be very gentle, because you don't want the flour just all over the counter because we need it in the mixture. At this point, you should have your oven heated up to 350. And just make sure all that flour pieces are well combined. You should not see any little flour bits. Place that aside and get your pan ready. I'm going to add some butter in the pan just to have that parchment paper stick down a lot easier. And I'm going to pour in my mixture. Now, because we are making Snickerdoodle just like you do with cookies, I wanted to add some cinnamon and sugar on top before I place it in the oven. So go ahead and sprinkle as much as you would like on and place that into the oven. After about 25 minutes, it should be done. Go ahead and check it with a toothpick. It should be nothing on the toothpick, or at least a very small amount. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that into little pieces. And I did sprinkle some more sugar on top just because it's Snickerdoodle. And it came out absolutely perfect. I love them. Everyone in my family loved them. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. And please let me know what you think and what else should we make Snickerdoodle.